All right. An Englishman, a Scotchman, and an Irishman were without tickets to the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics, but hoped to be able to walk there and get in the gate. Security was tight, however, and each of their attempts was met with stern refusal. While wandering around the outside of the stadium, the Englishman came upon a construction site, which gave him an idea. Grabbing a length of scaffolding, he presented himself at the gate and said, "Johnson, pole vaulting," and he was admitted. The Scotsman, overhearing this and seeing what happened, went at once in search at the site. When he came around a sledgehammer, he presented himself at the gate and said, "McTavish, hammer." He was also admitted. The Irishman combed the site for an hour and was nearly ready to give up when he spotted his ticket in. Seizing a roll of barbed wire, he presented himself to the gate and announced, "O'Sullivan, fencing." Oh, come on, that wasn't bad.
But we're all muted.
No, but I can see you laughing or not. All right. Tip of the day is on your iPads, and I will share my screen. Now you can see the iPhone and the iPad. Can you see the complete iPhone and the complete iPad without any pictures in the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Tip of the day is on your iPad. How do you look at two screens at the same time when using Safari? So oftentimes you may be on one site and you want to go to a different site. And therefore, how do you do that? Well, and view both of the sites at the same time. So I'm going to open up Safari. So if I click on Safari here, there's Safari, right? And I happen to be on the Stug website right now. You click, there's three little dots at the top of the screen there. And if you click them, it'll say full screen, split screen, slide over, or close. I'm going to split screen. And you notice it's still over here on the right, but it is visible.
Left.
I'm sorry, thank you, left. And then I'm going to tap Safari to open it again. And voila. Now I have two views, two different sites, right? Now I can use this center bar in the middle of the split view to kind of move it over and have it just on the side, or I could move it the other way. Okay.
How do you get something that isn't Google on that if you have another site that is not the Google opening?
Okay, let me do it again. split view. I go to Google, I go to there, and I go up here and say, hey, I want to talk to Amazon. And so I type Amazon in this bar up here, or I can click one of my favorites and it takes me to Amazon.
Okay, thank you.
So each one of these views is equivalent to having the entire one on your screen. And you can do something called, I forget the name of it, where the second website you're looking at is not half the screen. It's a window or panel on top the screen. Let's see if I can get it again here. There. The way I did that was I put my mouse or finger at the top of the screen, pulled down and kind of shook it a little bit. And now you see how there's a window on the top of the screen, a little panel. And that's equivalent, right? Now I could grab those little dots and G. So it's just two different ways to show it. And I can do anything I want in either side of the screen. So I can be looking something up on one side and looking something different up on the other side. Or if I found an interesting article over here, like I was really interested in whatever this is, right?
Bill,
And I could even copy that email address and go over here and paste it. I didn't get it right, but
It's your first one, the Amazon, I think.
I got a presenter. Right. And it takes me to that site, which is the one that was on the top of the screen before. So you can move a website from one side to the other, or a link from one side to the other. And it helps to have a lot of favorites because I want to go to YouTube, I go there. If I want to go to Phil Collins on YouTube, I go there. I can start playing some music. Any questions on the tip of the day? Have you tried it? Yes, no,
Bill, can you go back to the original
sure.
where you had the opening, where you opened into?
How do you get out of it?
You just close one side or the other.
And this
Okay,
is, this is
I'm
for
looking
the iPad only? Or does it
yeah,
work on
you don't
anything
have
else?
split screen on the iPhone.
I was trying to get you back to our page, our original page. The Stug
You want me
page.
to go- Want me to go to the Stug website?
Yes. There you
Okay, I'm
go.
on the Stug.
Okay.
I'm on the
And
Stug.
just
ahead.
go down to it where it says the spring get together for member and guest. I'm putting in a plug right now. Can you open?
See?
Scroll down.
Can you open it
click.
up?
There we go. Scroll down.
I'm down, I'm doing, oh, here we go.
And just put in a little plug right there, would you?
Yes, I will. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a spring get-together on the 22nd of March at the Super Buffet on Fruitville. It's from 12 to 2. There will be door prizes and games and a lot of meet up with everybody that you may not have seen for 2 years. So I said it's 12 to 2 at the Super Buffet at 5471 Fruitville Road. There will be, it's $20, and that handles all the tips and everything for the meal and the live entertainment that will be there. Okay? So please, and if you need information on it, where to go, how to sign up, there's actually a link. And if you send me an email, I will send you the link if you haven't already received it.
Can't
You
you
should.
just reserve a spot?
You could reserve a spot if you went to our website right here. Okay. But if you don't happen to have that, you can't get to our website, you can send me an email and I will send you the official invitation that you all should have received already. Okay? Any questions?
Thank you, Bill. We hope to see lots of you there.
There was a method in your madness, huh? And if you want to split screen while you're looking at that, you click the little dots, you hit split screen, right? You open Safari again, and now you have the split screen.
And this works for iMac as well?
No, I'm talking about iPad. I'm not
Okay,
sure
all
how
right.
it works on the iMac.
And I am sorry that I won't be able to be at your live. Sounds lovely.
Yeah, we would love to have you. Just hop on a plane. You can be here pretty shortly.
If I could travel, that would be good.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Tip of the day. While I'm talking, I would like to make sure that everybody has their name in their contact list. I will do it on my iPhone. And to do that, you hit contacts or strike contacts, you hit the plus sign, and you just put in your first name. I'll put mine in. I'm doing it on my iPhone here. And then you would put your last name. And at least put a phone number and email address. That's the minimum you should probably put in there. Okay. So has everybody done that? This is important for the follow-on thing I'm going to do. And then you tap done.
When you do it, it just goes into the contacts list in the alphabetical order of your first or last name. Is that no special place, right?
Correct.
Bill, if it's already in the context, do you have to put it in again?
Of course, no. Okay.
Must have shared this with us before because I have the emergency person in there and I think you would have told us that.
Okay. Back to my home screen on both devices. And this morning, we're going to talk out, finishing up on Siri that we talked about last time. And before I get started on Siri, I want to go to settings and do the little thing, a couple little things in settings. So you go to settings and you go to the item called Siri and search. And how do you get to Siri is the first three items on the list there. It says, listen for Hey Siri, press side button, or press the home button, depending on which device you might be using. You press and hold the home button on those devices that have a home button, and you press and hold the power button, the side button, if you don't have a home button.
This is really going to sound like a stupid, ignorant first timer lesson or question, but which side of your phone is the power button on, or are there, because I have three buttons on my phone, one on one side and two on the other.
Okay, the one that stands alone on the right side.
Thank you.
The one that's on the left side are your volume up and volume down.
Ah, thank you.
And then you have the language. Now, I chose English. Bearbell may choose German, but then she would have to speak to her device in German all the time, and it would respond in German. And then we have Siri voice. In other words, what kind of voice would you like? If you tap that arrow, you can get all kinds of voices. So I'm on the American variety of English. And then I could choose voice number one. And it happens to...
Where are you finding these? I have Siri and search and I pushed it and it starts with listen for Hey Siri.
Right, that's the first thing on the list. That's what mine says too.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then if we go down there far enough where it says Siri voice, you can choose the voice you would like to use.
Thank you.
There's 2 female and 2 male voices there, and you can pick the one you would like to hear. And then you say Siri response, right? So if you tap that little caret, I prefer spoken responses. Always show captions so I get it written as well. And always show speech. So my speech is transcribed and what I said is transcribed. So when she doesn't hear me correctly, I can see what she received and I can actually edit that. And perhaps the next time it will work better. So if you have this on, it's one way to improve how Siri understands you. Now I'm going to hit the back arrow. Announce calls. What do I have there? Always announce calls. Announce notifications. I have that off because I don't want her saying, hey, Bill, you got a new news report or you got, etc. So I just turned that off. So she's not talking to me about any notification I might receive. The most important one of all of these are my information. And if your name is not there, mine is, you click the caret or the arrow pointing right, you find your name and you click on it, and you find it in your list of contacts that you may have just put in. So right when you're done, you should have your name showing up on my information.
Hey, Bill,
Yes,
you didn't say anything about call hang up. The one just above announced calls.
where are you? Oh,
On the iPhone, between Siri response,
got it. I say always.
call hang up always.
Calls hang up. Where are you seeing that, Jim?
You know, in the settings there, after the next one after Siri response is a thing called call hang up.
I don't
You do
have
not
it.
have it on yours, Bill.
I don't have it, Jim.
Oh, you don't have, okay.
Jim, if you
Yes.
click the arrow, it'll explain it.
Yeah, I've done
No,
that.
no, no, no. I'll bet it doesn't announce calls that call and hang up right away. It's probably what it is, Jim. Again, you have an iOS, you have a 14?
Yes,
Okay, that may be a new feature on the 14.
I have it on the 11.
Oh, now you got me wondering. Hold on a
No.
minute.
Where is this again?
It's
You
by
you may not
default.
have it, dear, so just a minute.
By default, it's off.
So Jim, what's your version of your operating system?
the version, just the latest one, whichever one that is.
I
Okay,
just don't
wait.
know.
Wait, I'll just look it up and tell you.
Right.
So. My version is 16.3.1.
That's what I've got.
Do you have call hang up? With me, it says off.
I don't have call hang up, so I don't know.
Oh. And Jim, do you have
Yes,
off as well?
How about your, who's your internet service? Who's your phone service provider? Mine
AT&T,
is, mine's AT&T as well.
that's AT&T.
I
Mine's
don't know.
Verizon,
Guess I
have
got to
it.
do something to get that on my phone. Well,
But
Go ahead.
do you have it off, Jim?
it doesn't, I don't know. You could have it off or on. I don't have it.
By default.
Bill,
I
I've
have
got it
mine
on my
off.
phone, but not my iPad, and I have it off. But the description says, "Hey Siri, hang up." Is supported during a phone call and during a FaceTime call. When the call is
Okay.
connected, the voice input is processed on the iPhone, and transcriptions are not sent to Apple.
So you
That's
can
almost
request Siri
exactly
to,
what I have too.
you can request Siri to hang up for you. Is that what we're saying, Jim? Or Bill?
Yes,
It's.
yes.
Yes,
Looking at it's Bill's iPhone on the screen, where do you go to find the hang up from here?
I don't have it.
I know you don't have it, but I'm asking the people that do. Where do you go from here? Or what do you?
On the Siri, on the settings of Siri and search,
Uh-huh.
And it's
It's right after Siri responses.
yes, just before
In
announced
between.
calls.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I've determined I don't have it, but at least I looked in the right place. So thank you all.
You're welcome.
There must be some setting I can get that, but that's okay.
Whatever it is, I have it off. Basically indicates that you say, hey, Siri, hang up. It's available during those times.
Yep. Those are the main ones I wanted everybody to be able to adjust. I just want to check one thing. I'll bet Jim's paying more for his service than I do. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, everybody back to your home screens, please. Now we set it up. I'll do it on my phone first. Now you guys, I'm going to mute everybody so I don't cause your phone, so you don't cause my phone to get all excited. Okay. And I do something like, hey Siri, what time is it in San Jose, California?
In San Jose, California, it's 7:30 a.m.
Everybody hear that? And go ahead and try it. Just press and hold the button and see if you can get the response.
What button are you pressing?
I press the power button and hold it till the little circle appears. See the circle at the bottom of my iPhone here?
All right. Thank you.
And then I
Power
state
button.
my question.
Right.
Now, if I press that circle again, and I'll see if that works. Hey Siri, what time is it in Norfolk, Kentucky?
In Norfolk, Virginia,
Virginia.
it's 10:31 a.m.
It's 10:31 a.m.
Okay. So far, so good?
It says US, Kentucky, and it says Virginia.
I know there is no Norfolk, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. I didn't know either one. Thank you.
There definitely is a Norfolk, Virginia. Been there a few.
Say again, please.
I have
Okay.
been to Norfolk, Virginia a few times. So
Yeah.
there definitely is a Norfolk, Virginia.
How about, I'm going to press the little circle again. And it made it bigger.
I don't know what you mean by, I made it bigger. How about a web search for it?
You see what it did?
Did you have that already pre-recorded?
No.
I'm not sure I understand.
What time is it in Paris, France?
In Paris, France, it's 4:32 p.m.
Wait, Bill?
Um,
Siri's
yes,
not
sir.
answering you. Somebody else is answering, not Siri.
Say again, please.
Some other person is answering your question, not
No,
Siri.
no, I have a Siri male voice right now.
But a while ago, you had a female voice.
Right, I changed it when we were talking.
Oh,
When
gosh.
I was showing you what the voices were, I changed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Question. I had a very weird experience of seeing this long text to my daughter that talked about what elephants and giraffes, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I figured out that I was in a iPhone or an iMac session that they were telling me how to do certain things. So my question is, how did I get this? What did I do that I got this message that recorded what was on the class?
You hit a microphone somewhere.
All right, well, at least now I know.
Re-
what-
There is an app called Recorder. Was it a voice to text or was it just a recording of what you were saying?
It was a voice to text that was recording what the guy on the screen was telling me about photography.
So you hit a microphone some way.
All right, well, that solves part of the problem. Thank you.
Now, I want to point out something here. See down here, it says, what time is it in Paris, France? I can go ahead and edit that if it didn't get what I said correctly. So if for example, I said, it came back and said, what tin is it in Paris, France? And then Siri came back and said, I don't understand the question. I could go up here, tap where it says what, in my case, it says time, but assume it said what tin, and then I could go ahead and edit that text. Okay? So that's how you train Siri to be a little better, more effective. Now, I did a cool thing, and a lot of people get a laugh out of this. I said, "Hey Siri," or I tapped on it and I said, "Call me." I'm going to say, "Call me Prince," is what I'm going to say. And from then on, when Siri addresses you, she'll call you Prince.
Is there something else I can help with?
Siri, call me Prince.
Okay,
Okay, you'd like me to call you Prince?
Okay, Prince it is.
I don't know who had their mic on, but so then when I ask Siri who I am, Siri, who am I?
Sorry, I can't do that.
Yes, you can. Siri, what do you call me?
You're Bill. But since we're friends, I get to call you Prince.
So you get the idea of how that works?
In other words, you can have a conversation with yourself. Is that it?
Oh. Siri, call me handsome.
From now on, I'll call you handsome. Okay?
And I tap save. And now when I say, what do you call me? It says handsome.
How do you undo that or delete it?
You can say, Siri, call me Bill. Just change the name to something, whatever you want to change it to.
One of the things I'm noticing and I kind of like is that your answer stays on the screen for a while until you take it off.
That's correct. And that's what's nice. You see the text you said, and you see the text that Siri responded. Now, some of the things that are really clever, I think, is what if I wanted to send an email to my, I can, before I do that one, I have to say, gee, I could identify different people by, let's call it their nickname, like my wife, I'll call my spouse or my wife. And so if I want to refer to my wife anytime talking to Siri, I need to say, Siri, my wife's name is, and give Siri a name from my contact list. So I've done that. I've said, my wife's name is Patty Crow. My son's name is David Crow. My daughter-in-law's name is Young Nam Kim. And I went through many family members, so I can refer to them by, let's call it their nickname, versus calling them by name. So, for example, how that works when you've done it is, number one, in my contacts, I'll go to my contact. And if I scroll down in my contacts, I have a whole list of what I've done here. And Siri automatically added all this information that you see. There's my grandson. I have him in there twice. Okay. Spouse is Patty Crow. Also, wife is Patty Crow. Daughter-in-law is Young Nam Kim. So it's put all that information in my contact. So when I say to Siri, send an email to my wife, it checks the nicknames in my contact, finds my wife, finds the one for wife, sees that it says Patty Crow, goes to Patty Crow, picks up her email address and puts it on the screen. So let me show you how that works. I was just seeing if any of my So I'm going to say to Siri, send an email to my wife. And I do not have to type anything in order to do the whole thing. Send an email to my wife.
You have 2 email addresses for contacts named Patty Crow. Which one should I use?
So I'm selecting one of those. Oops. Send an
You have
email
2 email addresses for contacts named Patty Crow. Which one should I use? What would you like your email to say?
What time would you like to go out to dinner tonight?
Okay, here's your email message to Patty Crow. Are you ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, I'll send it.
Do you go out every Saturday night, Bill? Lucky Patty.
Tonight.
You've used that message before.
Yeah, she
I
used
have.
that for love, and he says send it, so she's probably all excited now.
I'm going to try the same thing, but this time instead of saying email, I'm going to say message. Send a message to my grandson.
Seems like you usually message Alexander with messages, so I'll use that one. What do you want to say?
How are things in San Jose this afternoon, Alex?
Send it?
Send.
Done.
That's great.
That amazing?
Yeah, that's really great. I don't use them. I'm gonna start.
You're going to start.
I keep forgetting that I can use vocal things for messages, and so I go ahead and type them out and they get frustrated.
Yeah, there you go. Now you have to be careful that it's typing or picked up your voice correctly, but it works rather nicely. Now, if you use the word appointment,
Say again, please.
or I use the word schedule, what I can do is actually add an event to my calendar. So I'd like to schedule a meeting, an appointment with Dr. Jones on March 13th at 2:00. So I'm going to try that. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Jones on March 13th at 2:00.
What do you want to call it?
Doctor's appointment.
You already have 2 other events that overlap with this. Should I schedule it anyway?
Cancel.
Okay. Would you like to change it to a different time or just cancel?
Change.
You don't have anything scheduled with Dr. Jones. Events with whom?
Dr. Jones.
You don't have anything scheduled with Dr. Jones. Events with whom?
Okay, it's not going to get it right here. But you get what happens. You get what happens there. Okay. Let me try
Okay,
one.
let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Schedule Dr. Smith on Tuesday at 4 p.m.
You already have Mandy for haircut at 3:45 p.m. Should I schedule it anyway?
Schedule.
Dr. Smith is scheduled for 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Tuesday. It's on your williamcrow@gmail.com calendar.
Okay. So I'm at a doctor's office and I want to make they're wanting me to make an appointment. I say, schedule Dr. Smith, April 23rd at 2:00. And it doesn't, and it tells me if I have a conflict as well. Okay. Any
Will it
questions
tell
on
you
that?
will it tell you if the doctor or whoever you're wanting to schedule with has a conflict with it?
Well, I assume I'm in the office and they're telling me what time to meet with them.
So, and basically it's just for your phone to be notified,
Right.
notify you.
It's just added onto my calendar. So if I go to my calendar now and I go to Tuesday, oh, not that Tuesday, the next one. There's Dr. Smith.
Hey,
At 4
Bill.
o'clock.
Hey, Bill, it's Diane. I scheduled a nap today for 3:30 and it worked just fine.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So you can use the word meeting or appointment or schedule to force Siri to put something on your calendar. What do I have on my calendar for Wednesday, March 15th?
Wednesday, you have refurb at 10 a.m.
So that's the interface to the calendar. How about your alarm clock? You can say set alarm for a particular time and it will go off. Right? And so that's using the word alarm. You can also say set timer. So if I say Set timer for 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Counting down.
And it's going off right now. Okay. So far, so good. I often use the timer, for example, when I'm doing French press coffee for 4 minutes, for example. Or I'm cooking steak on the grill, I'll set it for 6 or 7 minutes, etc. You could say, Siri, give me directions somewhere. And in my case, since it has me notified, I can say, Siri, take me home, and it will give me directions to get home. So if I'm, I end up in the middle of some of these developments, HOAs that are gated and have 1,500 streets and left, right, to get to the place. In order to get out, I just say, Siri, take me home, and it takes me home. If I do it now, what will happen? Siri, take me home.
Which home address? Getting directions to home.
It's going to take me a minute to walk there.
You have to put those in ahead of time or just from the address of your home?
It's the address I gave it for me. It's the address that's in my contact. Siri, what's the value of the NVIDIA stock today?
NVIDIA was down 2.01% yesterday, trading at $229.65.
So that's how you can get stock prices without doing anything more. Siri, what's the weather like in Berlin, Pennsylvania?
It's currently windy and 29 degrees at Berlin, Pennsylvania.
So that's weather, right? How about search the web for recipes of pasta? What vegetarian pasta?
I found this on the web.
So it gives me 15 or 30, 26, 20 recipes for vegetarian pasta.
Hey, Bill,
Yes, go ahead.
you didn't start by saying, hey, Siri. You just started talking. How did it
I
know?
turned that. You don't have to do, we've all gotten in the habit of saying, hey, Siri. You don't need to. If the little ball is moving, see the little ball on my iPad, iPhone there, if I tap it, I don't need to say, hey, Siri first.
Well, how did you get that there to start with?
I'm not sure I understand.
It's not there now, is it, Jim?
No.
And I press the power button.
Oh,
Oops,
okay.
I press and hold the power button,
Okay,
and
okay.
now it's there.
Yes.
Not sure I understand.
Now, if I wanted to work again in this particular set of conversation, I would just tap the power button there. Let me do it with my device here. Siri, show me pictures of Washington, D.C.
Here are some images of Washington, D.C. from the web.
How about, I don't want to do that. If I tap it and say, turn on the flashlight,
It's on now.
turn off the flashlight.
It's off now.
Now, if you all want, I have a whole booklet here on Siri and all the different commands you can give it. Well, an example, right? Siri, where's the Cheesecake Factory restaurant?
Okay, here's what I found.
And I found one that's 8.5 miles away, which is the one in University. Or 8.5 miles.
Good. Does say 8.5. Why does it give two address,
Oh, it gives me 4 or 5 of the
Why would
different
it-
ones. One's 47 miles, the other one's 55 miles, and there's one 49 miles, and different addresses.
but the numbers beside the star, are they a rating and not distances?
No, that's the rating. The one right above that, where it says 8.5 miles, is the one I'm talking about.
Understood that then.
If you asked it for the nearest Cheesecake Factory, would it just give you the one listing?
I don't know. Where's the nearest Cheesecake Factory restaurant?
Here's what I found.
No, it gives me all of them.
Oh, okay, all right, well,
So Bill,
The top one's the closest one.
Bill,
Yes,
when you on the settings, it says press side button for Siri. Is the side button the power button or the up and down
Yes.
volume button?
side button is a power button.
Okay, that doesn't work on mine then.
Yeah, it does. Has to. You don't have a home button. You have to press and hold it.
Oh, press and hold. Oh, press and hold. Yes, yes, it does work. Press and hold. Just pressing doesn't do it though.
Power
Correct.
button is difficult to work. You really have to hold it hard, press hard.
Okay. That's
least-
because of the case you have, Leah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
the cases oftentimes make those buttons very hard to push. That's why I got rid of one of those cases and got myself a silicon case. And it makes
Thank
it
you.
much nicer.
That sounds like something I ought to do.
I recommend that when I help people with their phones and I pick it up and I have to break my thumb to make it work, I say, I think you need a different button, I need a different case. In fact, if you take the case off and try the button, you'd say, wow, that's the way it's supposed to feel.
Hey, Bill, Bill,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is Diane. I just wanted to share, and you may mention it, another way I use Siri. When you're in the car, obviously you shouldn't be messing with your phone. So the phone is either in my purse or laying on a seat. And if I want to be reminded of something when I get home, I say, hey Siri, remind me to do
Yep.
such and such when I get home. And then that'll pop
Okay,
up when
I
I get home. And as we get older, we forget. So I use it as reminders.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll cover reminders, I think, next week, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, you can use it to interface with reminders. In fact, I did that yesterday. Remind me to call somebody when I get home. And when you say when I get home, that it's saying, okay, I know where you live. When the phone senses you're close to there, it pops up with the reminder. You could also send me, remind me at 5 o'clock to do something.
Fortunately, I couldn't tell it to remind me to turn my phone on.
It tried. What happens if I say, Siri, take a picture? Take a picture. Okay, it opens the camera. Okay,
But it doesn't
Couple-
take the picture.
say again, please.
It doesn't take the picture though, it just opens the camera.
It opens the camera, has the button there, so it'll take a picture
Okay,
when you press the button.
yes.
Bill, when you send us the list of commands or that we can do with Siri, will it also kind of remind us how to get to that setting or this setting that you talked about this morning?
I don't know. I think if you say, how do I, it will bring you directions, perhaps. You try it. How do you set up the Wi-Fi network on your phone?
Here's what I found.
There's an Android, how to connect to Wi-Fi on your Android phone, and how to connect to it on your iPhone. So it would give you directions on how to do that.
Thank you.
Another one is they're adding some stuff all the time. How about how many calories in a bagel? How many calories in a bagel?
Bagel has about 261 calories.
What's 20% of 86.74?
It's 17.348.
Okay.
It tells you the formula.
Pardon me? And it shows you the formula, yeah. Or how about who's buried in Grant's tomb?
The answer I found is Ulysses S. Grant.
How about the fun
How
stuff?
long does a dog live?
The average lifespan of a dog is 11 years.
How high is Mount Everest?
According to Wikipedia, it's 29,029 feet.
What's the price of gasoline in Sarasota, Florida?
I found this on the web.
There's actually a website for it. Okay,
Bill, how about the fun
my
stuff?
suggestion to everybody is give it a try. Give it a try. Try different things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not a big deal. But boy, can it save a lot of steps. I have some people who just never type.
In 2020, the population
And
of
by that, I mean, even if they've already manually, if I can use that, they've gone to mail and they started a new email. But there's a microphone on the screen there. If you tap that microphone, you can actually dictate your letter. That you're going to send. So that people have picked up doing that and don't even bother to type it. Now you have to be careful again, because it might not understand something you're trying to put in. Second subject for the day is the iCloud. So let me bring up something on the screen here. I'm sharing my screen, right?
While you're doing that, you were just showing all of that on the iPhone. Can you do those same things on the iPad?
Yes. Yes. if you look at the iCloud, it's a repository of information from your devices, your Apple devices, right? And so it says here in the middle, for free Mac, iPhone, and iPad. Oh, that's tutorials, but it's for Mac, iPhone, and iPads. All kinds of information are put up there. Your Safari bookmarks, your mail if you're using the iCloud email. And most of us don't. And if you're using Gmail or Yahoo or Comcast, they all have a cloud as well where your mail is being saved. All the books that the books aren't there, but the titles are. Your iTunes, all the music you purchased from Apple is up there. But the actual music is just the titles of the music. And when you want to view or get one of them, it will retrieve it from the Apple Music Store. The key one, and the one we most often use, or I do anyway, is Find My. Find my iPhone, my iPad, find my watch. Find a friend if you have friends that are sharing their location. And we as seniors, should share our location with our children. So for some reason they can't contact you, they can go to Find My on their device and see where your phone is at the very least. You have things like iCloud Drive that houses all kinds of information from the Files app and from Pages, Numbers, and Keynotes. It houses all your pictures, which is up here. Your calendar, your notes, your reminders are all in the iCloud. So if you think about it, the information basically that's on your phone and all the apps that are on your phone are kept track of in the iCloud. So if you get a new device, part of the bring up procedure is, do you want to have your new device have the same information that's in your old one? If you say yes, one of the ways is it goes to the iCloud and pulls all this information onto your new phone. Any questions about that?
I think I have one, Bill. The
Go ahead.
Find My, when you're talking about putting in your friends or family or whatever, how do they do it from their phone? How do they find you?
When you're setting it up, when you're setting up, you say you want to share your location. You would say yes, and they would ask, who would you like to share it with? And you would give them their address.
Okay, Bill.
I don't know if it shares it to Androids.
They have to accept it, don't they, Bill?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Okay, Bill.
Yes, Jim, go
In
ahead.
the upper left-hand corner of your screen there, the second entity down says photo stream. Old system for sending new photos to other devices.
Right.
Old system. Is the old system still supposed to work?
That I don't know.
But let me tell you what happened. Mine wasn't working, so I called the Apple Care and they first of all, the first guy didn't know what what I was talking about. And finally I got another guy who said he knew what he was doing and so on. And they fixed it so that it worked for about, half a day. I was able to screen 3 pictures and then it quit again. So I haven't called them back on that, but it just seems to me like they should get that fixed so that it works.
I would get out of it if I were you. If you can.
System.
Yeah, there's a way an alternative way.
Oh, aren't all your pictures in the iCloud photo share? Aren't they in the iCloud normally?
Not mine, no.
Oh, you haven't turned that on?
Well, I use OneDrive, all my pictures in OneDrive.
I understand that, but they can also be in the iCloud.
Well, I would have to purchase the space for that because I've got a lot of pictures.
I understand.
And I don't want to have it 2 different places anyway.
It's something like, I like to have them in 2 different places in the cloud, so I have them in both places, Jim.
Oh, well, I could do that too, but
I think it's, for you, it'd probably be $3 a month.
But the thing about iCloud, if you store the photos in iCloud, they don't keep them in the same files that they are on my computer. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. No, they do.
Oh, they do. I thought they changed it and just put everything into by year and not by files.
No. That feature is there, but I believe they have all the folders as well.
Oh, well, maybe. Okay.
Let me go there, my friend.
Okay.
Ooh, not with that language. I'm demonstrating something that everybody should be aware of. You can go to any computer in the world and type in, you can't see it, and type in what I'm typing in. I'm typing in iCloud.com. And now I've gone to iCloud.com. And I sign in. And it wants my Apple ID and password. I'm going to give it my fingerprint instead. And now I'm actually looking at the iCloud. And I tap my photos. And there's my photos, as Jim said. But if I tap here at the bottom, Jim, here at the bottom,
Yes.
where it says albums,
Yes.
here's all my albums.
But it doesn't have them by the year though, does it?
If I want my library by year, I would click library over here.
Yes.
And now I have by year.
But you don't have it by albums. Albums by year.
Well, you don't have that anywhere that I know of.
On the computer you do.
On the Mac?
I don't know about the Mac, but certainly you do on the Windows
I
computer.
don't know if these are in order of when I created them or not.
So in my Windows computer, I have everything, the photos listed by year, and under each year are all the albums that I've made during that year.
Okay.
And it was my understanding that you can't do that with iCloud, but I don't know that for fact.
Okay, I don't know either. But you certainly could go through and augment the name and just put a date on it as well for each of the albums.
You mentioned about the book, that it does not take the book off your e-reader. It just takes, what does it take off? Just the title?
So you don't need to worry about that. Let me go back here. Because the books, what it has in the iCloud is the title of the book. And then when you click on it, what will happen is you'll get the book. So it's not in the iCloud, doesn't take up space in the iCloud, I guess is the point there. Just the title of the book is there and refers back to the book that's in the Apple store or the bookstore.
I haven't tried that, but I think I will. I have a Nook instead of an Apple product for my e-reader.
Okay,
Kindle.
so you would have to have the Nook app, which refers to the Nook library.
It's, I pulled up the thing, went to press where it said to move it to the cloud and says, are you sure you want to move these items to cloud? You can always re-download them later. And is that meaning the content or just the picture of the book?
No, the content.
So that's taking the content off my e-reader.
Correct.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. So as everybody has the cloud set up, so the first thing we need to do is make sure we're using the iCloud and all the information that we have on our devices is being sent to the iCloud on a frequent basis. It's like a continuing backup. And in order to get there, you go to Settings, iPhone or iPad, and you tap your name at the top of the screen. I'll do it in both the iPhone and the iPad. And you see where it says iCloud, and I have 50 gig. And if it was like Jim and I was running out of space, I would click Manage Account here. And I wanted to change my plan. I could get 200 gigabytes for $3 a month. Now, I don't know how many pictures Jim has, but it might cover 200 gigabytes.
I believe I've got about 900 and something gigabytes of pictures.
No,
Yes,
really?
I think so. I'd have to go
No,
look
that
at
was
for sure, but I think it's
900 gigabyte.
about
Okay.
900 something.
Each picture, are they raw pictures, Jim, or are they?
A lot of them are raw, yes.
That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah, because the raw picture is going to take like 10 or 12 megabytes per picture.
yes, yes.
Okay.
And on top of that, I've got about 64,000 pictures.
No, I was the number would be easily contained in 200 if they weren't in raw.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because a normal picture takes between 1 and 2 megabytes, the raw between 8 and 12 megabytes. Okay.
The same cloud, iCloud work both your iPad and your iPhone and your
That's
computer?
correct. Yeah, but you have to make sure it's turned on for all.
Okay.
So I went to Settings, tapped my name, and went to iCloud. So there's when I tap my name, and then I go to iCloud. And I make sure all this is on. I want my photos, iCloud Drive, mail, passwords and keychain, and I click Show All. And now I make sure everything that I have on my device is green. So all the data I have associated with any particular application is in the iCloud. All my messages, my notes, my photos are all in the iCloud.
In the iCloud, what about private relay, which I have off, and advanced data protection is off?
I'm not going there right now. But I understand what you're saying. I don't use those particular things, as you can see.
Mine has news and stocks off.
You turn it on.
Why would I turn it on if I don't have news and if I don't have stocks
In case
or
you,
not, or
in
news?
case it's in case and sometimes in the future you do decide to do that, it will be saved for you.
Bill, do you need to save games you're playing, or is it saved on their website?
Say again, please.
If you're playing games on your computer that are the apps that downloaded to your computer, so you don't need the internet to play the games.
Correct.
Do you have to save your progress in iCloud, or does the game save it to their site?
The game's going to save it on your computer or your iPad or iPhone,
Not sure I understand.
right? The game is going to save it on your device. I don't believe it saves it at the game site.
So it has to be saved in iCloud.
So if you want to preserve that in case your device dies and you get a new one, you would turn that on.
But I mean, if you're in the middle of a game, so
Yeah,
you
I
have
know
to
what you
save
mean.
it to
That's
iCloud.
what's being saved. The data associated with the different apps. And where you are in a particular app is the data. Is in a game, in a particular game, is the data.
Thank you.
Are you going to tell us how to retrieve items from the iCloud?
You don't need to. Why would you retrieve them? They're on your device.
In case something happens to your device or it crashes or something.
When you get the new device, it will say what's your Apple ID and password, and it would load all that information back onto your device, your new device. So the answer, I guess, to question A is, yeah, you can't see in the iCloud what you might have in best parking, right? Or the audio books that you have been working with. You need to get the audiobooks app loaded on your device in order to see those. Okay. And now it says apps using the iCloud. I'm going to click the back arrow. And you see where it says iCloud backup? Everybody? If you're not there, hit the back arrow at the top so it says iCloud in the middle of the screen. And then it should say iCloud backup. Hopefully everybody's there. If you're not, please speak up. And you tap where it says, it could say off here. So off or on, you tap that little caret at the end of the line. And then it says back up this iPad. Make sure that's on. It says back up the iPhone. Make sure that's on. And it tells you when you last successfully backed this up. Mine was yesterday at 11:46 p.m. Now, if it says 3 weeks ago, after you get done with class, go to your name at the top of the settings menu, tap iCloud, tap backup, and then click backup now.
I'm presuming your phone has to be plugged in to do that.
Does it have to be? Not
Yes.
necessarily, but it's a good idea to have that. I just clicked mine. Hopefully you're still with me, right? Everybody?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I'm using some extra resources there.
Does it automatically back it up, or do you have to deal with something to make it do that?
It will do it automatically if you turn that on. Okay,
Back up this iPhone as the automatic?
yep. And so tomorrow you should be able to click on it and see that it backed it up.
Yeah, I'm
Most recent.
looking at mine, it says it backed it up at 4:402 a.m. I'm assuming this morning.
That's correct.
Bill, if you have an account with Google Cloud also, can you back up both places, the iPhone and iPad on both places?
What's the account with Google what? Google Photos or Google?
Oh, I pay about, I don't know, $2.99 a month or something for Google Cloud, I think. And some of my pictures go there, and some of the pictures go to iPhone. I can't figure out. Or iCloud.
All your pictures should go both places.
But they don't. It doesn't back up everything from the iPad. That
just pictures.
Okay.
Okay. Now you have a feature on your devices. And that's basically how you use the iCloud. I can go to any computer in the world and type in iCloud.com on its browser and put in my Apple ID and password, and I can get to my pictures. So if you want to show Aunt Nellie or Cousin Jack pictures of your last trip or cruise, you can do that on their computer. Now, on your devices, Apple has put a program called Files. It's another storage way to save things. So if you're working on a document in Apple's, what's the Apple Word program called? Pages. If you're working on Pages and you save something, it will save it in a file on your iPhone or iPad. It could also save it other places like the iCloud. So what I'd like to show you is a primer in how to use the Files application. And I was searching around and I found this wonderful video. And what I'd like to do is play the video once clear through, and then I'll start the video again. It's basically in 5 sections. Okay, where it shows you where stuff is stored, how to, what kind of folders are automatically created for you, how to open a file, how to make a tag for a file. If you don't know what a tag is a tag is a name you have put on a file or a picture so that you can say, hey, I want all my pictures that I've tagged with the red symbol, for example. And you can tag, and it would show you pictures from anywhere, anytime, pictures of that ilk. So let's start. And what I want to do is show you the video to start with. I can get all this to work. All right. And I guess I need somebody to be online to tell me if they can hear this. So Jim, can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
And tell me if you hear this voice.
No, I do not hear the voice.
No.
Can you hear that?
No.
Jim?
No, I didn't
Jim?
hear it. Didn't hear it, Bill.
Okay. Oh boy. Let me stop share. So I'm not sharing right now. And then I'm going to share screen again. And I want to share sound. And then, so do you see the picture on your screen?
See
No.
you, just you.
Say yes. See it
See it
now?
now. Yes, yes, yes.
You probably never figured out the way to get stuff in there.
Hear it
Did you hear
now.
that?
Yes, yes, yes,
We can hear
Okay.
it.
yes.
Good. Okay, here we go.
Have you ever wondered what the Files app was for? I mean, you probably, figured it was for storing files, but you probably never figured out the way to get stuff in there. And if you did manage to get something in there, how to get it out. Well, the Files app is powerful, and it's one of those things you need to get your head around if you're going to get the most out of your iPad. So if you'd like to learn a few basic things about the Files app, then stick around. I've got 5 quick tips that'll have you up and running in no time. Hi, my name is Rich. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. This channel is all about helping seniors and beginners get the most out of their iPad and iPhone. And today's video is all about the Files app. Now, this app used to be a mess, and for me, it wasn't worth the time trying to figure the stupid thing out. Then Apple finally took a swing at fixing it and came up with a really good way to store and retrieve files on your iPad. Today, I'm going to show you how to find the places you can store files, known as locations, how to view the folders your iPad automatically creates, and how to create and name your own folders, how to open a file that's stored in a folder, that's not hard, how to scan a paper document to a folder. I had a video on Apple Notes about how to scan into Notes, but you can scan a paper into a paper document into the Files app too. And then lastly, how to tag a file for quick retrieval. All right, let's get started. First thing I want to talk to you about is location. So you go to the Files app, and the Files app is this little icon with the blue folder on it. Tap on it. And if you'll notice, you have something called locations right here. Locations, favorite, and tags. We're going to look at locations. And here in locations, you've got iCloud Drive, on my iPad, and recently deleted. Now, iCloud Drive is something that comes, you get a little bit of storage whenever you buy an iPad, and it's automatically on here, and you can store things on iCloud Drive. But you can also store things locally on your iPad, so that if you were ever out somewhere and you didn't have an internet connection, you could still view the documents or whatever you have in your files. And that's what On My iPad is for. And then of course recently deleted is if you've deleted a document and you by accident and you need to get it back. You can typically find it in the recently deleted folder. So those are your 3 main locations. Now, it is important to know that you can add other locations there. So if you have Google Drive or something like that, you can put that in there as well and get access to that. So that's something to think about. But for right now, we're just going to talk about what comes on your iPad. And those locations are iCloud Drive, On My iPad, and recently deleted. And so everything you have in files is going to be in one of those 3 folders. Hope that makes sense. It's pretty simple. All right, the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to view folders that are automatically created by your iPad. So in a typical computer system, you might create your own folder structure. On the iPad, it creates folders for you for certain applications. So let's take a look. If we go back into locations and I tap on iCloud Drive, you can see there are some folders here, and I didn't create any of those folders. There's a downloads folder. I have a great app called Drafts, Keynote, Post-it, and Shortcuts. And those applications created those folders automatically for me. But I can have other folders on iCloud Drive that I create. And this is how you do that. You simply tap on the little folder with the plus icon up here, and it creates a folder, and you can name it. We'll call that My Test Folder. And it's as simple as that. And now I've got my test folder, and if I open it, well, there's nothing in there. But it's pretty simple, and that's the simple way and the easy way to create folders. And you can do the same thing on my iPad. You can create my local folder. I created my test folder there before I started this video. And if you want to delete a folder, all you do is slide over and click delete. So my test folder is here in iCloud Drive, and I had another one called my test folder on my iPad, but I deleted that. And now I've got something called my local folder. Very simple, and that's how you add a folder. One other thing I want to show you is how to add something to the folder. So here's a good example. If I open up Safari as a side app, and here is a picture on my website, learning how to use the iPhone and iPad, you can actually just tap it and drag it over into the folder. And now that picture is in the folder, just like that. And that's just a quick way of how to add a file to a folder. Next thing I want to show you is just how to get to the files that are stored in a folder. So if we go back to iCloud Drive and we have my folder structure here, you can see where it says 1 item, no items, 2 items, 2 items. You can tap on that and it'll take you to the file that's inside the folder. And if you tap on that, you can see what was in that file. To get back, you can just tap on Files up here at the top and you're back. And then you can go back to iCloud Drive. Another way to do it is to use columns. And if you tap this little icon with the 3 lines on it right there, you can tap on Columns. And now you have a list of the same folders, but if I tap on Keynote, it shows the folder over here. I didn't have to open the folder to see what was in it. I just tapped on it and now I can see. Same thing with Shortcuts, Post-it, like that. And if you want to open it, again, you can just tap it and it's open. And then to get back to Files, you can go that way and then slide back to your main folder structure. This is how I typically do it on my computer, but since my iPad screen is smaller, I just use List like this. And that's very simple. That's how you simply open a folder and then open a file that's inside the folder. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to scan a document into a folder. So much like Apple Notes, you can do this with your iPad. So all you do is you open the folder where you want the document to be, and you press and hold, and it'll say Scan Document. And then you simply hold the document up like that. It'll auto scan it. We'll click Save. And now that scanned document is in the folder. And there it is. And you may have important things that you want to create. Maybe you have folders for, I don't know, health insurance, or maybe you have it for warranties and auto maintenance and anything like that. You can create your own folder structure and then scan your own documents and put them in there. It's pretty simple. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is how to tag a file for quick retrieval. So let me show you how to do that. If you notice, we have on the left something that says tags. And if you notice, we've got a bunch of colors and things like that, and you've got some other tags with names on them. If you want to tag a document, we're going to tap on the document I just scanned. Then you tap on the little share sheet icon, and then you click add tags, and then we'll add a red tag, and we're done. And then we click done over here. So now if we're here and we want to look at the document with the red tag, we just tap on it, and there we have it, like that. But red doesn't really help you very much knowing, I mean, what does that mean, red? I don't know what that means. I do like the color of it, but I don't know what value there is in tagging some file with the name red. So you can edit those. So you tap on this little circle with 3 dots in it, and you click on edit sidebar, and then you click on red, and we're going to type this as insurance policies. And we're going to click done, and then we'll click done here. And now all the insurance policies you scan into your Files app, you can tag with that, and instead of having to go in and dig through files and folders, you can just tap on it, and then up comes the insurance policy. And that's a very easy way to quickly get to documents that you may need to retrieve on a regular basis. And that's how you use tags. I know that was a pretty quick look at the Files app, but it really is important to know where your files are located and how to get to them. And if it helps, watch this video again until you get it figured out. You can do it. And I do hope this short tutorial helped. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered what the file?
Okay. Sure, you all got that, right? Everybody got it?
Part of
What
it.
I'd like to do is kind of go through it. And I'm going to play the first section of the video, and then we're going to try it. And then I'll play the next section and we'll try that. But first of all, any questions about the general, why do I have files? I think he gave a really good definition of if you want your insurance information in a file. So you could do it in notes, but you could also do it in files. Any questions about it? What's the difference between a file and a folder? Anybody know? Go ahead and speak up. Nobody's going to volunteer.
A file is an actual
Thing.
is an actual thing. You just like that document he scanned. A folder is what holds all those things.
Very good. It's exactly right. So a folder contains files. A folder can also contain other folders. So you can have a tree structure of folders to get to a particular file. So if I use his example, I did insurances and then I did MetLife as another folder, and I'd have the MetLife insurance. And then I might have a folder in insurances called house, and I would have the house insurances in that. Okay. Any questions on that so far? So let me start go ahead.
He was using Windows 11. Will that make a difference?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Ooh, no, that wasn't Windows. That was an iPad he was using. I'm using Windows 11 to show you that, but okay. So I'm going to start the video again and we'll stop it at a
Files
particular.
app was for, I mean, you probably, figured it was for storing files, but you probably never figured out the way to get stuff in there. And if you did manage to get something in there, how to get it out. Well, the Files app is powerful, and it's one of those things you need to get your head around if you're going to get the most out of your iPad. So if you'd like to learn a few basic things about the Files app, then stick around. I've got 5 quick tips that'll have you up and running in no time. Hi, my name is Rich. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. This channel is all about helping seniors and beginners get the most out of their iPad and iPhone. And today's video is all about the Files app. Now, this app used to be a mess, and for me, it wasn't worth the time trying to figure the stupid thing out. Then Apple finally took a swing at fixing it and came up with a really good way to store and retrieve files on your iPad. Today, I'm going to show you how to find the places you can store files, known as locations, how to view the folders your iPad automatically creates, and how to create and name your own folders, how to open a file that's stored in a folder, that's not hard, how to scan a paper document to a folder. I had a video on Apple Notes about how to scan into Notes, but you can scan a paper document into the Files app too. And then lastly, how to tag a file for quick retrieval. All right, let's get started. First thing I want to talk to you about is location. So you go to the Files app, and the Files app is this little icon with the blue folder on it. Tap on it. And if you'll notice, you have something called locations right here. Locations, favorite, and tags. We're going to look at locations. And here in locations, you've got iCloud Drive, on my iPad, and recently.
If you don't have the Files app on your device, everybody should probably try to go to the App Store and get it. Or you can see if you have it by going to the app library and then see if you have the Files app.
Deleted. Now, iCloud Drive is something that comes, you get a little bit of storage whenever you buy an iPad, and it's automatically on here, and you can store things on iCloud Drive. But you can also store things locally on your iPad, so that if you were ever out somewhere and you didn't have an internet connection, you could still view the documents or whatever you have in your files. And that's what On My iPad is for. And then of course, recently deleted is if you've deleted a document and you by accident and you need to get it back. You can typically find it in the recently deleted folder. So those are your 3 main locations. Now, it is important to know that you can add other locations there. So if you have Google Drive or something like that, you can put that in there as well and get access to that. So that's something to think about. But for right now, we're just going to talk about what comes on your iPad. And those locations are iCloud Drive, On My iPad, and recently deleted. And so everything you have in Files is going to be in one of those 3 folders. Hope that makes sense. It's pretty simple. All right, the next thing
On both my iPhone and my iPad, I have opened the Files app. Okay. Oops. And if you happen to be on a particular drive or something, I'd just like you to strike the back arrow at the top of your iPhone so it says Browse at the top. And on your iPad, it should contain a sidebar window that says Files. If you don't have that, tap this little icon up here in the corner on your iPad. And it should say Files. And on my particular device, I have iCloud, my iPad, and there's Recents. I happen to have downloaded the app called OneDrive, an app called Dropbox, and an app called TeamViewer. All of them have different places in different clouds where I could store the information. And they're just think of them as different folders that you could put things in. If you put it on my iPad, it does not go into iCloud Drive. It goes onto my iPad. Any questions about that so far? So if I click iCloud Drive, I get this. If I click on my iPad, I get these particular, and you'll notice I have files and folders there. There's a picture there. There's things like you saw in the video from Pages, from Microsoft Word, for example. If I click on Google Drive, I end up with these items. And for example, here's where I store all my iPhone and iPad documents, etc. There's Dropbox. Don't know if I don't have anything in Dropbox. I doubt if there's anything in TeamViewer either. Make sense to everybody? We okay with that much? Any questions? Ooh, this is
Yes,
going
how
well.
did you get Google Drive? Did you?
I put
into
that particular, I put the Google Drive app on my device and I logged into it.
But how did you get it into files?
It automatically went there when, let me, see. See, there's Google Drive. I have it on my device. So I loaded Google Drive from the App Store, and that's how I ended up with it there.
Okay, but how did you get it in files? Did you drag it in there?
No, it automatically showed up there when I installed the app and logged in with my Google ID and password.
What
It
file?
It automatically went there. So if I go to the Google Drive, I understand your question, I think. I'm going to find Google Drive here. Gee. Ooh, not that one. Come on. There's Google Drive. Okay, there's Google Drive. Now I've already logged in, so it has my stuff. But when you first get it, you have to put in your Gmail address and password. When you do that, it will automatically show up in files. Okay? Any other questions there?
I want to talk to you about is how to view folders that are automatically created by your iPad. So in a typical computer system, you might create your own folder structure. On the iPad, it creates folders for you for certain applications. So let's take a look. If we go back into locations and I tap on iCloud Drive, you can see there are some folders here, and I didn't create any of those folders. There's a downloads folder. I have a great app called Drafts, Keynote, Post-it, and Shortcuts. And those applications created those folders automatically for me. But I can have other folders on iCloud Drive that I create. And this is how you do that. You simply tap on the little folder with the plus icon up here, and it creates a folder, and you can name it. We'll call that My Test Folder. And it's as simple as that. And now I've got my test folder. And if I open it, well, there's nothing in there. But it's pretty simple, and that's the simple way and the easy way to create folders. And you can do the same thing on my iPad. You can create my local folder. I created my test folder there before I started this video. And if you want to delete a folder, all you do is slide over and click delete. So my test folder is here in iCloud Drive, and I had another one called my test folder on my iPad, but I deleted that. And now I've got something called my local folder. Very simple, and that's how you add a folder. One other thing I want to show you is how to add something to the folder. So here's a good example. If I open up Safari as a side app, and here is a picture on my website, learning how to use the iPhone and iPad, you can actually just tap it and drag it over into the folder. And now that picture is in the folder. Just like that. And that's just a quick way of how to add a file to a folder. Next thing I want to show you is just how to get to the files that are stored in a folder.
Okay, let's give that one a try, right? If I go to my iPad folder here, you'll notice I have all these, and again, they've created all these for me. The Barnes & Noble Nook, Brave. There's a bunch I've added. There's a new name folder. I'm going to delete that one. I can right here, remove. So I can delete a folder. Here's another one. I'm going to delete that one as well. That's a picture I'm deleting. Everybody get the idea there of how to delete things. And here's the folders that have been automatically created for me. And they were created when I opened the app and started using it. It created it automatically for me. If I wanted to add, well, let me go to the iCloud there.
Bill, can I
Yes,
interrupt
go.
and ask you a question?
Sure.
My question is this, that photo that you just deleted, I'm assuming that that was a photo that came from your photo library. So if it was, my question is, when you just deleted it, is that just deleting it from the file, or does it also delete it from your photo gallery?
I'm going to find out in just a minute, because I want to do that. I want to create a folder, put a picture in it that's from my recent photos, and then delete it from there. And I don't believe it will delete it from my recent photos, but I want to confirm that, right? So let's do that whole exercise. See the plus, the little folder with the plus sign up here. I'm going to click that. And I've got, it comes up and says you want to, and the keyboard shows up and you type in my, whoops, not in Korean. English. My folder. Okay. And now I've created a folder called my folder. And what I want to do is I'm going to grab my pictures here and put it up on the screen, have it be half the screen, and I'm going to select a picture. And let's select a picture of a maple tree here. And there it is. And I'm going to press on it. And I'm going to move it. Whoop, wait a minute. And I just put it in my folder. No, I don't want to share that. Okay, now I have the image in my folder. If I hit the share box, can I share it that way? Share to files. And it says in my folder, and I want to save it there. So there's actually two ways to do it. What happened, and this is a new feature in Photos. I have now copied just the leaf or just the tree in this case over. It will take just the image and it takes out all the background. But I don't want to get into that right now, but that's what was happening. The way in which you would share or save a folder, save this to a folder I have, is hit the share box. I have my folder in the other pane. And I go over here to share files. And I could go back and let's put it in the iCloud or the cloud one instead. And I'll put it in the iCloud drive and I'll save it. So now I have put that picture in both the iCloud drive and my iPad. Now the question was, if I delete that picture, will it delete it from my photos? I just deleted it and it remains in my photos. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. That's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing and good news.
Okay.
Bill, question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you first split your screen and share the photo and drag the photo into your test folder?
It wouldn't drag, I couldn't drag the photo because of a new feature that's in the latest operating system.
I have an old operating system on my iPad and I still couldn't drag the
I'll
photo.
bet you can't drag it, or you could.
No.
If you
I
can't
can
drag
share
it, hit
it.
the share box and say file and then share to file.
I could do that, but I couldn't drag it over.
Correct. I tried to do it as well and I couldn't do it. So that's why I showed you the alternate method.
Thank you.
And that alternate method works on your iPhone where you don't have both screens visible.
Bill, would you give us the name of how we could find that YouTube video if we wanted to watch it again?
I'm going to send it to you when I
Okay,
send you
thank
the
you.
class. I may not be able to send you the class video because this video is in it, but I will send you the link. Okay?
Perfect.
Is this available also on your iPhone?
Yes. Files or the video?
The files.
Yes, yes, it is.
How does it get to you? I'm looking at my iPhone and under my app library, I have files, the word
Open it.
files. It
Tap
says
it.
files and it has a little picture of a file.
Tap it. And you should come up with something like I have on mine right now. No? Yes? I'm going to continue with the video.
So if we go back to iCloud Drive and we have my folder structure here, you can see where it says one item, no items, two items, two items. You can tap on that and it'll take you to the file that's inside the folder. And if you tap on that, you can see what was in that file. To get back, you can just tap on Files up here at the top in your back, and then you can go back to iCloud Drive. Another way to do it is to use columns, and if you tap this little icon with the 3 lines on it right there, you can tap on columns, and now you have a list of the same folders. But if I tap on Keynote, it shows the folder over here. I didn't have to open the folder to see what was in it. I just tapped on it and now I can see. Same thing with shortcuts, Post-it, like that. And if you want to open it, again, you can just tap it and it's open. And then to get back to files, you can go that way and then slide back to your main folder structure. This is how I typically do it on my computer, but since my iPad screen is smaller, I just use List like this. And that's very simple. That's how you simply open a folder and then open a file that's inside the folder. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to scan a document into a folder. So much like Apple Notes,
So what he's talking about here, if I look at my iPad, number one, the way in which you can view the particular folders is, see, it says it has 3 dots there at the top. If you tap that, it could say icons, then it turns into 4 squares up there, or it could say columns. So it's just different ways of viewing the information. On the iPhone, I don't think you have that particular capability of changing the way in which you're viewing. Maybe on the 3 dots there. Yeah, it is. No, didn't there, not there. Oh, it's icons or lists. So there's the list, similar to the list now on my iPad. And I got to that by clicking the 3 dots up here in the corner and changing the view from list to icons or back to icons. I agree with the presenter that the list is probably the best way to look at these things.
Do you get the option to select that it goes into iCloud versus Google Drive? Or do you have
Yeah.
to always open notes and then know it's going to go in the one you select?
Okay, so if I'm looking at a picture, and let me take this picture, right? And I want to share it, and I click there and I scroll. Wait a minute. Looking for add to album. add to files, right? It doesn't have it. Oh, here it is. Over here in the share box, tap that and it says add to files here somewhere, save to files. If I tap that, it's going to come up with iCloud or iPad. So you can choose which one you want to save it to. All right. So before you say do it, when you say share and you tap add to save to files, you would select which location you want to put it in. And then you could go further and select what folder you want to put it in. And then you could click save. All right, so we covered how to view them now and various view features. He's going to cover this one. I'm going to put my information that I'm going to get, I think, into one called first. See where it says first? I'm going to put whatever I'm doing in the first album or first folder, I mean. Okay? And so we'll bring his video up.
But you can do this with your iPad. So all you do is you open the folder where you want the document to be, and you press and hold, and it'll say scan document, and then you simply hold the document up like that. It'll auto scan it. We'll click save, and now that scanned document is in the folder, and there it is. And you may have important things that you want to create. Maybe you have folders for, I don't know, health insurance, or maybe you have it for you know, warranties and auto maintenance and anything like that. You can create your own folder structure and then scan your own documents and put them in there. It's pretty simple. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is how to tag a file for quick retrieval. So let me show you how to do that.
What he did with that scan feature, I'm checking to see if it's capable. I did not check this ahead of time. He opened the folder, and then that didn't work, where I could do a scan. I'm going to have to do some research on that to confirm, but that doesn't seem to work on my device. And Sharon might be willing to try that one, see if it works.
Bill, this is
Yep.
Diane. I have three little dots on the left there, right by see the icon, the top left? And I have three little dots there, and you click those dots and it says scan. But I don't see the three little dots on yours.
Where do you have the three little dots?
Up there where it says files, I see above the files, the little icon.
Yeah, there it is, scan document. Which
Uh-huh.
one's it going to, okay, I'm going to scan it. Thank you, found
You're
that.
welcome.
And now we're going to scan a document here. So I've got a document scanned. And what am I going to do with it? Then I tap done,
I know I haven't done it yet either.
and then I tap save. And it saved it into my iPad.
Indicated that it would save until you.
What if I had this folder open?
Yeah, did it
And
go
I
in the right
tap,
folder?
and I tap those three dots and scan. And then I tap save. And it put it in that folder.
Yeah, it did. Okay.
Okay, somebody just discovered how to do it.
I hadn't done it yet. I was just following the video and I found those three dots.
I
But
got the
thank
three
you.
dots. Yeah, the three dots is the key, right? And it works that way on the phone as well. Excellent, excellent. And last but not least,
that. If you notice, we have on the left something that says tags. And if you notice, we've got a bunch of colors and things like that, and you've got some other tags with names on them. If you want to tag a document, we're going to tap on the document I just scanned. Then you tap on the little share sheet icon, and then you click add tags, and then we'll add a red tag, and we're done. And then we click done over here. So now if we're here and we want to look at the document with the red tag, we just tap on it and there we have it, like that. But red doesn't really help you very much knowing, I mean, what does that mean, red? I don't know what that means. I do like the color of it, but I don't know what value there is in tagging some file with the name red. So you can edit those. So you tap on this little circle with three dots in it, and you click on edit sidebar, and then you click on red, and we're going to type this as insurance policies, and we're going to click done, and then we'll click done here. And now all the insurance policies you scan into your Files app, you can tag with that, and instead of having to go in and dig through files and folders, you can just tap on it and then up comes the insurance policy. And that's a very easy way to quickly get to documents that you may need to retrieve on a regular basis. And that's how you use tags. I know that was a pretty quick look at the Files app, but it really is important to know where your files are located and how to get to them. And if it helps,
so I'm going to go back to the document or the picture or something that I just scanned in. I'll grab that. I wonder if I can just drag it over. No. I tap it and I want to tag that. What do you say to do that?
I know I couldn't find the button after I got the document up where it said to tag.
Okay, just a minute. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Hopefully on the Files page or on the Browse page, at the bottom, you have something that says tags.
Mm.
You tap that, and it shows you all the different tags that you have. Now I'm going to go to a picture, and I want to put that in a particular place where I want to tag it, I would tap the share box up there at the top, this guy,
Oh, okay.
and then scroll down to where it says add a tag. And I'm going to do what he did. I'm going to put it, either I could add a new tag right here and create a one, but I'm going to change the red one. I'm going to put it in the red tag. Tap done. Now I'm going to create another one. Same picture, but I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to name a new one here called Sunsets. Oops. And tap done. And then done and done. And now I have a tag group called Sunsets. The purpose of this is to, if you have pictures in any one of the other folders here, you could tap it, share it, and put it in Sunsets. Now it's a dumb one to put in Sunsets, but you get the idea. And now if I open Sunsets, it contains those particular pictures from various other places. If I delete that particular picture, I believe it will remove it from the tag group as well, because you no longer have it. Any questions? I was in a couple's home trying to fix their internet connection the other day. The husband called out to his wife in the other room for the computer password. And she said, start with a capital S, then 1, 2, 3. So we tried S, 1, 2, 3, capital S, 1, 2, 3, several times, but it didn't work. So we called out to the wife again. She input, could you please tell us your password? I really don't know what's so difficult about typing START 1, 2, 3. Did you get that, everybody? She said, start with a capital S, then 1, 2, 3. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Got
that's
it.
that's
That was
bad,
good.
right? Okay. Hopefully you had a good time today. We picked up a bunch of stuff.
Bill, thank you so much for the
Yes.
class. I never even knew that files existed after all this time on the phone. And here you
Good.
go. Files are a whole
Here
big
we go.
files are there.
And it was a
Thank you.
nice little tutorial, I thought, on it. I searched around and found that. And that guy does a really good presentation, I think.
Yeah, that was very good.
Was good.
I will include his link in the what I send out to you guys. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great week.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. See you next week.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
think
Thanks, Bill.
Wait a minute. I gotta tell you what we got next week. I think it's reminders, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I need. Unfortunately, I won't be here.
We all need reminders.
Mm.
Oh. Come on.
Do be sure to tape it because I will not be able to be there.
Oh, I always try to tape it anyway.
I know you do.
Yeah, and next week is reminders, the 18th. All right. Have a great week, folks.
Thank you.
Nice having you.
Thank you. Bill.
Thank you.
Hi, Bill.
Take care.
Thanks a lot.